Welcome to our program on Kardec Radio.
Hello, everybody. Thursday, sunny day for those who are in Ireland. I hope you are watching us from your backyard, having the sun, your sun bath, and recovering your vitamin D. So good to have you all here, our friends from UK, Leah from Sweden. I hope it's sunny over there as well, my dear. Like we have a beautiful day today here. So our friends from America as well. So good to have you guys here. And today it's Samantha and I, and we will keep going on the study of the future afflictions and joys. But we will start to talk about question 965, which the main topic for this is nature of the future afflictions and joys. Okay? So, let's do this. You start, Samantha, and I do the initial prayer.
Okay.
Okay?
Sounds good.
So, let's sit comfortably. Have a deep breath. Let's raise up our thoughts towards our mentors. Ask them to enlighten ourselves. Spread these good energies to all brothers and sisters who are surrounding us, especially those who are sick, those who are feeling alone, depressive, thinking about suicide. May this prayer reach them. So be it. Amen. Okie dokie. So, Samantha, question 965, nature of the future afflictions. What do you have to tell us about it? You're in the mute.
Sorry.
There we go.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's introduce with the question. Question 965, and it says, is there anything material about the joys and sorrows of the soul after death? And then the answer from the spirits is, they cannot be material since the soul is not matter. Common sense says so. There's nothing carnal about future joys and sorrows. And that is why they are 1,000 times more vivid than those experienced on earth. Once disengaged from matter, the spirit is more impressionable. Matter no longer weakens its sensitivity. So I find this question very enlightening and very interesting, because we have all these ideas about what happens after death. And not only this question, but the other questions after this one will teach us about what happens. Because when we talk about future joys and sorrows, we are talking about after death, right? And then it is interesting to understand, because it avoids us to have these preconceived ideas about what's going to happen after we leave Earth. So the answer is very specific. It says there's nothing carnal about the spiritual life or the life after death. And the spirit is more impressionable, therefore more sensitive to everything. I think it is interesting to see from a perspective. So when you are in the spiritual world, things are completely different, and what matters to you is different. You don't have this necessity for material things, and a lot of times we put our happiness in material things. Well, everything is material here, and that's how it is. It's the way it is by design anyway. So it belongs to this place, but there, that doesn't exist. So where do we get our joys from, right? And where we get our sorrows from? So this is more about sentiment. This is more about what is printed in you when you leave here, and what we make of your experiences. So and we need to understand that when we become a better spirit in the spiritual world, this is very beneficial as well. So we can experience things differently. But if those things are so different, so how can we explain this difference, right? So how can we explain this difference? And if we think about when we leave Earth, if we are very attached to material things, we are going to be sensitive to those things. So we are going to experience, in the spiritual world, we can experience pain, we can experience distress, we can experience anxious feelings, those very similar to what we experience here, right? And this is much more vivid and more sensitive to us, as is the question is explaining. So I watched the video from Simon Pedro. You probably did as well, Stevan. This is formed the basis of our talk, and he gives an example from one of the stories that Divaldo tells about. One day that he saw the news, and he saw that news about a guy that committed suicide jumping in the line of the track of a train. So Divaldo got really impressed with it, and he was moved with the situation. So he started to pray for this person. He called this person the train suicidal, or something like this, the person that committed suicide in the train. So he prayed for this person every morning, and one day he was praying, and he saw the spirit of this person that came there to thank him. And he said, Givaldo said to him, I don't know you. I'm sorry if I don't know you, but I think we haven't met before. And he said, yeah, you don't know me, but I came here just to thank you, because after I died, I felt a lot of distress, and I could feel the pain, the train come over me. I could feel all the pain in my bones, in my whole body, and that was horrible feeling. But for a few moments, I felt in peace. I felt restful, and after, with the passage of time, I improved, and I was more open to receiving help, and I was helped by the spirits. And thank God I'm not feeling those things anymore, and I'm becoming better. But I asked them why I felt so pain for so long, and for a few moments I wasn't experiencing the same pain. What happened at those few moments? And the spirits told me that you were praying for me. At this exact time, you were praying for me. So I came here to thank you. Now, we don't perceive this so much here. But if someone prays for you, it doesn't matter if you are alive or if you are in the spiritual world. You're going to feel the energy. You're going to receive this prayer. You're going to receive the emancipation from it. But if you are in the spiritual world, you're going to feel it much more. So you have, your senses are more well, and as in the answer, it's more vivid. So for him, it was really important to receive this pray from Givaldo Franco. And it's important that we pray for our friends that left Earth as well. They are going to receive our prayers. We need to be careful, though, because we shouldn't be attached to them. Because if we do, and if they are not so developed, they are going to be attached to it as well. This is going to maybe make them sad, or make them to not evolve, or to be in the same situation for a long time, or the spirit won't. How can I explain that? Energetically, it will be still attached to you or to Earth. So when you pray for them to develop. You pray for them to be in a good place. You pray for them to receive help. You send love, and you send best wishes and things like that. So that was a good example of how we feel. There are other examples as well, about how we feel after we die, and how sensitive we are to those things. But matter doesn't matter to us anymore. What really matters are people, people in the sense that, friendship, love, and those things. They feel that much more, as well as they feel pain as well, and sorrow, and things like that. So we want to help them the same way we want to receive help as well when we pass away. So those are the things that I think. Stevan, do you have anything to say about it, or I don't know, maybe?
Yeah.
Am I in the right track here?
Oh no, yes, yeah, of course, yeah. I'm just saying, everything starts with our mind. Okay, just giving some comments in relation to that story is when Divaldo was praying for the train suicidal. The guy came to thank him for praying for him. And then Divaldo said, okay, I prayed for you, but what is the point here? And he said, because I was suffering, I was seeing that light of the train, and I could feel the train hitting me, putting my body apart. And when I was able to stand up, came another train, another train, another train. And I just had few seconds or minutes of a relief. And the good spirits told me I had this relief exactly the moment when you were praying for me. So I came here to thank you. This is a beautiful story, but you can ask to yourself, okay, but if he was dead, why he still feel the train hitting him, the 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 steel wheels cutting him. He was feeling that. And I would say everything starts from our mind. The secret of everything is in our mind. And of course, he was not feeling, it was not his body was suffering that impression. It was an impression, but this impression was connected with his mind. Okay, and at the moment he was able not to be focused and connect on this, the good spirits perhaps took the advantage of this and could influence him and rescue him and start all the recovering process. And the point you want to tackle here is, how is your mind? Because if you're saying, oh, my life, it's not great, I don't like my job, I don't like this, I don't like that, I don't see if it's raining, it's because it's raining, if it's sun, it's because it's sun, if it's snowing, it's because it's snowing, you are complaining about everything 24/7. And I cannot accept in my reason, if that person dies right now, they will change their mindset. They will keep going in the same pattern. And the secret of our happiness rely on our mind, on our thoughts, how I think gonna be my day, how I think I gonna face some challenge we have every day. Some challenge is worse than the others. Sometimes the challenge requires a lot of efforts in order to sort this out, but everyone has your own challenge, everyone has your problems to deal with. But my question here is, how are you gonna deal with it? You're gonna deal with it because you have that moral sense, but you don't have any ability to do that, or you're doing this because, okay, no, let's move on, let's make things works. So everything is your mind. Everything, a simple problem could be an enormous problem, depends the degree of importance you are giving to that problem. And same applies when you are in the spiritual world, because you just change the shape. You will still have your mind, you will still have your thoughts. And how this gonna work for you? Let me see, Robbie has some contribution here. Thought and Life is a wonderful book that helps us realize just how important our thoughts are. Brilliant. Yes, I have my on my shelf, but not here. Thought in Life. No, it's not here. But well done, Robbie. It is Thought in Life. It is so important book to remind us everything starts on our mind. Our successes, our victories, our goals, our frustration, our weaknesses, everything starts in our mind. Being weak or not being good in something, it's normal for everyone. But how much time you spend your mind focusing on your weaknesses instead of your strengths? If you are those one who spend your day trying to diminish yourself, that's a good point, a good start for a beginning of depression, beginning of uh, 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 not enjoying life. Everything is up to you. Everything starts here in your mind. While I was talking here, just came up with the idea to exercise. What do you want for you in the future? Oh, I'm trying this, but how many times, how many years you are trying to do this? Oh, doing this for many years. Okay, let me give you a definition of crazy. A crazy person, it's that one who always do the same thing and every time expects a different result. So, are you doing this with your life? You're doing the same thing every single day, and at the end, they'll say, oh, my life is not good because nothing new happened. So, the question is, are you doing something in order to something new create in your life? Are you try to perhaps change the way you drive home just to find yourself in a different neighborhood, meeting new people? I have no friends, but are you try to socialize? Are you open to socialize yourself? When a friend texts you, hey, let's go out. No, I'm busy. And don't complain, you are not socializing. I have a bad relationship with my wife. Okay, you have a bad relationship with your partner, your wife, your husband. But are you talking to them, to him, to her, in order to find out what's the problem? What I'm doing that annoy you? And this is one of the causes of the depressions. That's my viewpoint, Samantha. Everything starts with our mind. We create our heaven or we create our own hell.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that we can't take for granted the how difficult it is to change our thoughts, our energy, our mind. Can you give me a second, Steve? I just need to close the curtains because I can see the reflection there. And
No, it's okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's fine. I have just some noise here, but the ice cream man decided to park in front of my house to sell ice cream.
Go.
That's why I have a lot of noise in my background.
Take 1 second, just a second. Yeah. So we better now.
Yeah.
It's very sunny here, which is great.
Yeah.
Well, I can still see the sun there, but anyway, it's better, a little bit better. So I was saying, we can't take for granted how difficult it is, because it's part of our evolution. We are not perfect. Of course, we are not. And we need to improve. We want to improve from one day to the other. It's a process. And it's so interesting to say that, because, for example, I know I've studied prayer. I don't know everything about prayer, of course not, but I studied prayer a little bit, and I know how important. I know that when we pray, we shouldn't be praying for things that won't benefit us. So, God is good and justice and just. So if you ask him something that won't serve you, he won't give it to you, right? So, and sometimes we pray for things, or even material things, a lot of times, because, or for anything that we want to happen. So, for instance, you want to start working in this specific company, and you pray for it to happen, but maybe that company is not the right company for you. You won't develop there. It's not the right environment. It's not the right culture fit. So God is not giving it to you because he loves you. He wants something for you that makes sense for you, for your path, for your life specifically. I'm not saying this company is bad, but maybe it's not what you need. It's not for you. So when I started to learn about prayer and how important it is to be smart about your prayers, and when you're praying, you pray for you to become more loving. You pray for you to become more mature. You pray for you to overcome the obstacles. You pray for strength. You pray for those things. When I learned this, I was like, I don't want to pray for strength, because I don't want anything horrible to happen to me. Like, I don't want to be strong. I don't want to pray for me to overcome anything, because I don't want those things to happen.
Exactly.
So at the beginning, I was okay. I will try to pray differently. So I started saying, God, I want this thing. But if this is not going to serve me, please give me something that is better. Please help me with the situation, or give me motivation, or give me power, so I can go after it. But now, and it was already a step, a step forward. But now, the other day I was praying for strength. There's something happening to me that is not nice, but it's happening, and it's going to happen anyway. Yeah. I didn't want to be in this situation, but if it's happening, it's supposed to happen for some reason. Because in one of the questions in the Spirit's book, the Spirit said, it's an answer from the Spirit. I don't know the number of the question. I'm sorry, but Kardec asks about why some things happen, and the Spirit says, because for everything there's a reason, and everything that happens, God allows to happen. So if it's happening, it should be happening. Now, it's not like a punishment, and a lot of times we bring this about by our attitudes. So we need to be very vigilant. But if it's happening, you did something in the past and it's already done. There's nothing else you can do now. What you can do is ask for strength. And I remember it was in the morning. I was doing my morning prayers, and I was like, God, please give me strength. And then I realized, oh my God, I'm asked for strength.
Again.
So I could see the progress, even if it's a small progress. And as you say, everything is in your mind. But we appreciate that it's difficult to change.
Yeah.
Especially because a lot of times you think the way you think, and you're doing it for so long. Now it's like a mantra in your head, and that's why this exercise is. I'm a fan of meditation. So meditation, or maybe using a mantra, or doing Ho'oponopono. I'm not, and I don't know if you guys have ever heard about Ho'oponopono, but it's basically a deprogramming of your mind. So your mind is programmed in a certain way. Try and reprogram it, because our mind is a machine. Basically, it receives orders, and it influences your whole body based on these orders. Okay, you can get sick. You can attract bad things to happen to you. So this power that we have in our mind, and it's in the spiritualist literature, they say about this energy, and energy is a wave, so much as sound, and it's very powerful. And science also proves that. So it exists. Our thoughts send the signals, and with the signals we attract things to our right. We need to try and change this programming. So we need to try and deprogram. And if this word exists, deprogram, I believe so. I'm not sure. Reprogram our minds. Now, talking about it, it also makes me think that the very fact that made this guy in the story that we just said, or that we just told, commit suicide, shows that he wasn't healthy. His mind wasn't healthy. And that's why he experienced so much pain. He was suffering, probably here. And that's why he committed suicide. And he continued to suffer there. And it's interesting, like you were saying, he had these feelings of the train passing over him or hitting him, and he was broken, and all of those things for so long. And those feelings were over and over and over and over and over again. So it shows what the spirits were telling us in the question that we just read, that our feelings they are even more powerful, because he was only hit by the train once, and then it was enough for him to lose his life. But after that, he was still feeling that pain for so long, as if it was happening again. So it's like he lost his life so many times after he did really lost his life here, because that's what he was feeling. And again, as you said, it's in his mind. So but he was experiencing it anyway, regardless of if it was reality or not, right? So he was experiencing it anyway. So it's important to take care of our health, not only our body but also our mind, and try and reprogram our thoughts so we can deal with difficult situations in a better way, not only here but also after that. That's what I think. And it actually brings us to the next question. I think the next question has everything to do with what we are saying here. which is, why do human beings have such crude and absurd ideas about the joys and sorrows of the future life? And the answer is because their intelligence is not yet sufficiently developed. Does the child comprehend in the same way as the adult? Besides, it also depends on how they have been taught. That is the point at which there is the most need for reform. Your language is too incomplete to express what exists beyond your reach. Thus, it has been necessary to make comparisons, and you have taken such images and figures as reality itself. However, as people become more enlightened, they better comprehend the things that their language cannot express.
Mm-hmm.
So the more we understand what happens, so like the spirits compares us to childs, right? So if you're a child, maybe you don't understand things that happens with adult people. You know, when you're a child and your dad, you try to talk to, you know, your parents are having a gathering in your house, and they are talking about something that is like adult conversation, and you try and talk to them, and they say, listen, this is adult conversation. You
Exactly.
know, it's not for you. It's not for you. So you're not ready yet to understand those things. But by the time you evolve, you become more enlightened. You understand things in a better way. And that's what we need to try to do. We need to try to understand. I think I to be honest, I enjoy being a spiritist because I feel secure. It's not that I'm
Secure.
perfect, and secure in a way that I understand the mechanics of life. I'm not yet perfect. Hope one day I will be, because that is one of the divine laws. But just the fact that I know that when I pass away, I'm not dead. I'm not losing my life, because my life is eternal. And
Yeah,
that,
good point.
you know, so those things are comforting. You can rest assured that you're going to be perfect one day. That is in itself so good, so reassuring. And it's not it's not an excuse for you to make as much mistakes as you want or not to develop, but it's an assurance that if you try, one day you will reach it. It
Yeah,
can be small steps.
yeah. I would say it's kind of, you need to try everything and try first. Like the progress, it's in a, it will happen. Like a child, you will become an adult. It's pointless. Child said, "Oh, I don't want to grow up. I don't want." She will grow up. She will become an adult. Full stop. Okay. And as much as this child is growing, more responsibility that child will have. This is natural, and this has happened to us as well. So I would say now we are studying the Spiritism teachings. We cannot say we don't know. Oh, I wasn't aware of that. And let's say even though we didn't have the Spiritism, the law of nature, divine laws, it's already in our conscious. It's already there. And we have that feeling, I should not do, or should I do it? You know, and the point here is, what do you want for your life? What do you want for you? I like very much when someone said, I'm not prayed for strength. It's a very good reflection she gave to us. But we need that strength. We need that to support the problems, to support, to allow us to give support to the others as well. So we need that strength. As long as you don't ask the strength to beat someone, but you need the strength to face a test, to face, to have courage to look for a new job, to sometimes have a decision. Hey, I don't want to stay in this life anymore, so I'm unhappy. I need to break everything. I need to have strength to say, stop, everybody. And a lot of people will identify this as a selfish action because you are not thinking the others. But you are living in a struggle moment. You are struggling yourself. You put yourself in a hole, and this is not good for you. Okay, so on question 967, Kardec asked to the spirit, what does the happiness of good spirits consist of? Because we are not good spirits, and we are talking here about the happy. What it does mean? Means that in feeling no hatred, no jealousy, no envy, no ambition, or any of the passions that make people unhappy. The love that unites them is a source of supreme happiness. They do not experience the needs, sufferings, or anxieties of material life. They are happy with the good they do. So they want to help. They want to make these things happen. They always see things from the bright side, not from the dark side. And how you see your day? You are that type of person. It's raining. Oh, it's raining. Oh, gosh. Oh, it's sunny. Oh, it's too hot. Come on. Get up in the morning. Thank for that day. If it's raining, if it's windy, if it's cloudy, if sunny, you are alive. That day you have opportunity to do something good, not for you, but for your neighbor. Please someone. In these times of COVID, we are not allowed to meet people, but have you phone to those ones you don't see for a long time, just to say, hey, how are you gonna hang on? I was thinking about you, and it was fun to see how you were. Did you stop to, now we have more time to stay with our kids, for you or our wife or partners? Let's watch a movie. Even though I have watched that movie 10 times. Watch again. Do something together. Do something that pleases you. Try everything new things. Always with aim to help. Rob is saying again, this is a blessed opportunity when we focus on all we have been given. Perfect, Bobby. That's it. This is what we need to find out. You complain about your job, but are you studying in order to change your career? Are you complaining about your job, but are you looking for a new one? And then you start, let's take this example here. I'm complaining about my job. And every day, when I wake up, oh gosh, I need again to turn on the laptop. Oh, I hate this. I don't like this. What are you doing? You are suffering. You're putting yourself down. Instead of change it. And when you say the person, hey, you need to change them. No, I don't need. No. Why? They needed to change, not myself. So this we needed to evaluate every day, because at the end we are putting us down, and we are the artisans who will put us up. The difference from us and the good spirits who are in the happiest world is because they do not focus on bad things. Like the example here, they don't have any attachment to passions that make people unhappy. They just do it because they love to. They do not drive the car of the year. They not drive the best shoes in the moment. They not wear the best shoes in the moment. They do not have a beautiful house. They just focus on doing great things to help the others. And keep going here. Yeah, 968 and 69. It's kind of saying the same thing. But, well,
Yeah,
what is it?
967 is the opposite of what you're saying, basically. Yeah. So, let's see. What do the sufferings of lower order spirits consist of? They are as varied as the causes that produce them, and are in proportion to their degree of impurity, in the same way that enjoyments are in proportion to their degree of purity. We can thus sum them up, coveting everything they lack to be happy, but not being able to obtain it, seeing happiness, but being unable to attain it, regret, jealousy, rage, and despair arising from everything that keeps them from being happy, remorse, and an indescribable mental anguish. They long for all sorts of enjoyments, but cannot satisfy them. That is what tortures them. So basically the opposite of what you said. So missed opportunities, like they will regret if they had the opportunity to help someone and they didn't. They'll become more conscious of those things, and that will bring them unhappiness, or even if they're still attached to material things. Even when we say material things, we can even say like relationships could be a material thing, because you attach to this person as if this person was something, was a thing. Like, I want to have this person. Well, you never have this person, because thank God this person, like, they are theirs. So if you are too attached to people and you have jealousy, or if you have this type of feelings. And I think that it's interesting when we think about happiness and how happy like good spirits are. One misunderstanding that I had in the past was I thought some things give me happiness. So, for example, if I eat a a tasteful ice cream, I love it. I that brings me happiness. It is material, but it brings me happiness. Or if I buy this pair of jeans that I really like, and makes me feel beautiful, like I experience some happiness there. And I used to think, I don't want those things to end, because I know in the spiritual world that those things doesn't exist. So I don't want those things to end. I want to continue to feel this happiness for those things. Or even when people, like, they're not ours, but when I am with this specific person, I'm so happy. I want to keep feeling this. And I know that in the spiritual world, that's not how it works. So it was like, I'm not sure I want to be happy in the spiritual world. But it just shows how attached we are to those things, to material things. And of course, this is part of our life here.
I don't know if she's breaking. I don't know if it's my internet, but like we can say here, Robbie said, missed opportunities is one of the top regrets of those nearing the end of this incarnation. Our corporeal existence is just a continuous string of opportunities. Exactly what Samantha was saying. Oh, welcome back, Samantha. Sorry.
Sorry.
Before I just
I'm
put
sorry.
the comment.
My connection is... No, it's okay. My connection is a little bit bad today. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, so I was just saying that I didn't want these things to end. But I came to understand that the feeling, the spiritual life, this feeling of happiness is exactly the same. It's the same feeling without the need of having these material things. So imagine you being in this ecstasy, in this feeling of happiness, as if you just had a wonderful ice cream, like all the time, forever. It's just amazing, but you don't need the ice cream. So when I understood that,
at a certain point, you don't want ice cream anymore, because you ate so much ice cream.
yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
No, I'm only joking. But it gives you perspective. It gives you perspective.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's...
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
My connection. Oh Jesus! I hope you'll be okay up till the end. But yeah, so it gives you perspective, and also it gives you gratitude, because then you understand the real importance of things. If you have an ice cream, you can say, "Thank God, I had the opportunity to experience this, because everything here is from God. If she, this power allowed for this to exist, it's okay." So I appreciate life much more, every single moment, much more now.
Yeah, even the fruits have their own season. And we have our seasons. Sometimes we need more this, less that, the other way around. But knowing yourself, I think I think that the real thing here is, what do you want for your life? What do you want for yourself? What do you want for your future? Everything starts doing things today. This is your life. And like Rob said here, missed opportunities. You want at the top of the regrets. So don't miss an opportunity. Do your evaluation, do your analysis, what is right, what is wrong, what's pros and cons, and which one to take? Those who are more charitable. Which option you take will help more people? Will make you a better person. You will learn a lot. Take that option.
Yeah. And if you miss an opportunity as well, don't be punishing yourself forever. Try and understand the situation. Try and understand why, but be in peace with your decisions. And try to understand that that's the best decision that you could take at that time. If you were in the right frame of mind, right, of course. Because if you are doing it from a feeling of like bad feelings, if you wanted to hurt somebody or feelings that like you wouldn't be proud of, then there's more work to be done. But then also being peace with what you are and where you are. I think this is really important, because when we were saying that everything is in our mind, so if we keep these feelings of regret, of disappointment, of whatever it is, this is what you're cultivating, and this is what is going to happen again and again and again. Because we were saying again the story about the guy that committed suicide. The act happened only once, and it was happening all the time for him. It wasn't happening really.
His mind was creating that.
It was in his mind. So if you keep in your mind those things will continue to happen, because our body, or even depending on the spiritual situation that you are, they want to distinguish the difference between something that you have in your mind, or they want to distinguish if it's something that is only in your mind, or if you're really experiencing it. That's what I would say. But I completely agree with Robbie. And if you ask people, like when they get to their old ages, and if you ask them, or when they are, suffering, or and they are close to passing away, they usually want to ask for forgiveness. They usually want to, if they still have time, to make amendments.
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't want to bring those things with them.
Yeah, if you have the opportunity to identify you did something wrong, and that person is still here, please fix it now. Fix it now. It's way better. I'm not saying that person will forgive you. I'm not saying this. But I'm saying if you start the process of forgiveness now, it's a lot better than when you realize you didn't do it. And now you are in the spiritual world, what you can do. Leah said here, I've had many missed opportunities. He rushing over some for decades. I practicing acceptance. I still do think of them at night. I do not feel I am at the end though. Perfect. Nobody's saying here, Leah, you need to be there. But one thing you said here, and this is the most important thing, at least you started. at least you are work on it. Work on it doesn't mean finish to work on it. It means it's a work in progress. And this is amazing. Well done to you there. Well done to you. Work on this. But don't become a slave of that. Because it happened. The missed opportunity is in the verb, it is in the past. It's already there. Missed. But do not become slave of that. See what you missed, what you're gonna do now, Neil, and move on. Always move on. Okay? Some opportunities will return, some opportunities will never return. If you missed it, fine, okay. But don't become a slave of that. Okay, so I think our time is up. Sarah, do you have? Can you do the final prayer?
Yeah, sure. So let's close our eyes if we want to, if we feel comfortable. Let's raise our thoughts to Jesus, to our spiritual friends, to God, to our mentors, our guardian angels. And let's thank them for the opportunity to be here, learning and sharing our thoughts, our learnings. We are not perfect. We are convinced of that, but at the same time, we have the wish, the desire to become better and to evolve. So we take the opportunity to be in this path and to be learning so much, and we are grateful of everything that are lended to us. We don't necessarily have them, but we can experience them. We can make use of them. So we thank for that. And we hope for a better life, for a better future, not only for us, but for our friends, for our family, for our neighborhood, for our city, state, country, and the whole world. We send love and gratitude to everyone, no matter what stage they are in their spiritual progress. But we send this energy, this feeling of hope, and we ask for our minds to be always open. We know this exercise we have to do, but if there's anything we can ask for, then we ask for strength, for the right motivation, for being enlightened, for being inspired to do good and to become better. So be it.
Amen. Yeah. Leah said, I get stuck. I know what you mean. Yeah, Leah. Don't get stuck there. Don't feed this monster anymore. Okay? So it's time to make this monster
A pet.
a pet. No, not a pet, but what's the name? fada, a fairy. Make this a fairy, you know? Yeah. Thank you, Don. Are you there, my friend? So good to see you. Good to see you, my friend. So happy to have you all here. And again, thank you all for your time. I'll see you next Tuesday. This Sunday talk is Vanderlei's talk. So I don't know the topic. So he will talk on Sunday for us, 11:15 a.m. Irish time. Okay, and I'll see you next week. So enjoy, have a good weekend. Thank you, guys, and thank you, Sa, for your time.
Thank you.
I'll see you all.
Thank you so much, guys. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.